Hi everyone, it's Don. Well, hope you're having a fantastic day. We're about to end something here in Canada that I'm happy about, but I'm also confused about. Okay, quickly before I get started though, I just want to thank everybody who sent me emails, sent me DMs, sent me postcards, wishing me well, hope I'm doing good during my COVID experience. I did fine. I've even gotten Easter cards when I got back. It's been great. I just want to say thank you to everybody out there. Again, I don't like mentioning names here, and that'll continue in this video for a second, but speaking of COVID, I took my most recent COVID test. And I am now negative. Negative. Woohoo! Which will make it easier if I can take that COVID test for my next cruise and not have to go through all that documentation stuff. I did receive both my documentations of recovery, one from the United States and one from Europe. And I'll tell you, the one from Europe looks far more professional than the one from the United States. It has a QR code, it has 2 doctors on it. United States just has this like marker almost looking thing. They are it is the one you get, but yeah, I kind of like the one from Europe better. And I also got, remember a little while back on one of my videos, I asked some people to do me a favor. Because Captain Kate put out on her Instagram a call to get some snacks from Trader Joe's. Because she can't get them in Europe. They don't have them in Europe and can't get them and everything. And I put out a request for some, if anyone happens to see them, if you happen to be at Trader Joe's and you want to do me a favor, I would really love it if you could send me some. And some people have. In fact, I got a small little bag full here of the mango jalapeno Applejack fruit snacks. Thank you so much. You guys know who you are who sent them to me, and they did arrive. I really do appreciate it. And I know some people on the cruise ship gave them to Angelina to give to me as well. So I'm going to have a pretty good supply when I go see Captain Kate next month. And I just also want to address some people in the comments when I made that video were saying, well, Don, you spent all day at the airport. You could have just jumped in a taxi and drove to Trader Joe's and got them yourself. Instead, you want everyone to buy stuff for it. How often have I asked people to send me something? Out of my 2,000 videos, I think one where I did that dollar gag when I send me $1 and I'll send you absolutely nothing. It was more of a joke than anything else, but I actually received dollars, but I wasn't really asking for it, but that's it. And the reason I asked for people out there to do me a favor and help me out was because Trader Joe's discontinued them. That's right. They're no longer in stock, so they would have to be leftover stock in particular stores. So that's why I asked, because you can't just go to Trader Joe's and buy some. Otherwise, I could have ordered some and have them shipped to Canada. But no, it was based on individual stores. And so if you happen to have been in one and you saw them, and you picked them up for me, I really do appreciate that. I know some people made a special trip to Trader Joe's and said, hey, they don't have them here, we're sorry about that. Oh, wow, you made an extra effort there, and I really did appreciate that. That was amazing. So yeah, that was the reason I was asking, because I couldn't go and do it myself. It's because out of 300 stores, maybe 10 have them. So I wasn't traveling all across the United States for Applejack snacks. Okay, now what is Canada doing? Now, as with every other place right now in the world, it seems, airports are backed up. They are having problems. They are sitting planes on the tarmac, waiting to go through security because they just don't have enough people. It's so backed up. And one of the reasons that it's backed up is because Canada still had that random testing for COVID for international travelers when you fly into Canada. And that was taking up some time. In fact, 3 out of every 100 people were supposed to be randomly tested. So as they're interviewing people and they're talking to people, they're asking some certain questions and deciding whether or not this person's going to get a red sticker to go get COVID tested or a green sticker to go right through security. And Canada has decided that they're no longer going to random test people at the airport. Not because it's safe to do so now. That wasn't the decision they made. It's because they're too busy now to do it. So instead of having more people and hiring more people and getting things done that way and being prepared for this, they've decided to just end the testing to speed up process, especially at the Toronto Pearson Airport, the busiest airport in Canada. While I appreciate this being done for travel, I really do, and I'm all for it actually, I question the logic of doing it because we can't do it. We don't have enough time to do it. That's like me going to see my doctor and my doctor saying, you know what, well, you're scheduled to go for chemo next month, but you know what? We don't really think you need to do it now because the hospital's too busy. We think you should do it next year because it's too busy. So we're not gonna, or we think you should have this exploratory surgery, but we're pretty busy. So we'll maybe you don't need that exploratory surgery to find out what's wrong with you. It seems like decisions are being made based on problems that pop up as opposed to what they say they're doing, following the safety and following the science. And again, I'm all for this. I think the testing part now should be over because everyone's trying to get back to normal. People followed me. I've had COVID in Europe. The worst part of having COVID was the fact that I had to quarantine. I had a slight cough. No, in fact, I've had colds much, much worse than COVID. Much, much worse than COVID, where I was laid up in bed with a fever and runny nose and hot flashes and cold flashes. I had a slight cough. And that was it. I was in a hotel for 5 days. And I missed a cruise because of it. All because of the quarantine requirement for catching COVID. All because I had to test to fly through the United States that I wouldn't have even known about. And people would not have known about it. It's come to the point now, I think, where we have to start treating COVID like a flu and a cold. At least until we start seeing any changes in hospitalizations. Because they keep saying that cases are on the rise, but there's no extra cases in hospital here in Canada. There's no extra cases of, we're ending this mandate, we're ending that mandate, we're ending this, we're ending masking, we're ending this. And there's been no change in hospitalizations. So maybe this is the time where we just have to live with it. You want to wear a mask when you go outside? Great. You want to wear a mask on a bus, on a train, on a plane? Great. But do we have to test every single person nowadays? Does it make a difference? Cruise lines are in, if you look at all the cruise lines on the CDC website, we have, I think, 70 some are in the orange zone, which means they have COVID cases on board. Well, every single cruise line has tested people. Well, if you've tested people before getting on the cruise, yet you still have the COVID on the cruise, does testing really do anything anymore? Are those people in hospital? No. They're just being told to go to their room. I kind of think Canada is doing the right thing, but for the wrong reasoning.